Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today the Sheep Stealers take on the Farmers Extraordinaire as Hoang, playing as the Celts in red, prepares to duke it out with TeMo playing as the Sicilians in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we will be watching today. Now, the Celts are a civilization built around their need for speed. Their lumberjacks work faster, which is great because Celts need lots and lots of wood for their primary focus, which is siege. Their siege workshops work faster, their siege units fire faster, and all siege workshop units can be upgraded to get 40% more HP. Now, coming back to the need for speed, all Celtic infantry move faster than normal starting in the Feudal Age. Their castles and towers can be upgraded to attack 33% faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second fastest infantry unit in the game. And one, by the way, don't be mistaken by its Seattle Barista looks. It is a very powerful unit with a good amount of HP and a very strong attack. Now, in order to feed a hungry growing population, the Celt can, in fact, convert and steal enemy herdables, even if those herdables are standing right next to enemy units. Speaking of enemy units, enemy herdables, enemy everything enemy related, let's take a look at TeMo playing as the Sicilians in blue, a civilization whose strength, in my opinion, flows from their defensive, rather static defensive structures. Sicilians, if you take a look at the top right of your screen, will notice they start the game with 100 extra stone, which is fantastic because they build town centers twice as fast as normal and fortifications 50% faster than normal. And by the way, starting in Feudal Age, Sicilians can start building their unique military structure, the donjon. Think of this as a mini castle that gains HP and armor as the game progresses, and starting in the Castle Age does shoot multiple arrows even when ungarrisoned. Now, like its sister structure, the Bulgarian Krepo, something we've seen in the last few days, you can also use this donjon to train the unique unit of your civilization. In this particular case, we're talking about the Sergeant, a medium infantry unit with great base armor whose HP actually increases from rather in the Castle Age and is one of the only two unique units you can train in the Feudal. Did I just say the Feudal? No. Distracted by a scout, you can tell. It is one of the only two unique units you can train in Feudal Age, the other being the Gurjara Camel Scout. Now, by the way, you can use those very same sergeants to build and repair donjons so that you can create more and more donjons, kind of a self-fulfilling cycle there. However, unlike their sister structure, the Bulgarian Krepos, a donjon can also be used to train spearman line units and can actually count as a prerequisite to building stables and archery ranges, so you don't technically need a barracks, although highly recommended that you still get one. Now, if you find yourself in need of a lot of army really quickly, one of the cool features of the Sicilians is their ability to call a First Crusade, where each town center up to a maximum of 5 spawns 5 sergeants. So that is potentially 25 sergeants appearing in the blink of an eye. Now, sergeants, quite the opposite of the Woad Raider, are an incredibly tanky but very slow unit. So to protect it on the battlefield, Sicilian Knights and Cavaliers can be upgraded to get extra armor, both melee and pierce. All Sicilian infantry, cavalry, and archer units take less bonus damage, and all of their units can be upgraded to become more resistant to conversion. Now, to feed their hungry population, no, they don't need to steal enemy sheep. Why? Because they have the most bountiful farms in the game, bar none. When the Sicilians research a farm upgrade, it more than doubles the amount of food added to a farm. So if we're lucky enough to see Imperial Age, a fully upgraded Sicilian farm with crop rotation, more than 1,000 food in it. So, like I said, no real need to steal any enemy herdables, although I recognize one bonus is Dark Age, primarily, the other is Imperial. But you'll grant me some artistic license here as both players are now heading up to the next stage. It looks like Hoang will get there about 25 seconds ahead of his opponent, off the back of 2 fewer villagers. And so he has Loom, which tells me TeMo does not. I'm not, oh my goodness, my clicking skills. Some of you really want to see me play. The fact that I can't even click a unit will tell you just how good I am going to be when I do finally start to play. Let's take a look at the map we find ourselves on today, which is, no big surprise, Arabia. Attack path fairly simple between the two bases. Looks like TeMo's got a bit of a forest on the left side of his settlement protecting. Hoang has one on the right side of his base. Primary gold, nice and exposed to the front. Stone and extra gold secure to the rear. By the way, Hoang has seen his opponent's base and has returned home to now push Ibex, who appear to be just as stubborn as deer. What are these red dots moving across the map? Hoang lately has been putting proxy military buildings on the other side of the map, by the way, in Feudal Age. Does he have a barracks? He has a barracks. He has not enough wood for anything else. But lately, from the games that I've been watching him on Twitch when he streams, because he streams generally right as I'm about to go to sleep. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say he plops down in archery range. Very close to enemy territory. TeMo, for his part, looks like he's very much interested in a fast castle play, as he's going to be greeted by 2 militiamen. Primary goal to the forward position, but might want to complete a wall off and then it'll be safe. Whereas your stone, also like Hoang, safe to the back. Also additional goal to the back, but both bases pretty darn open and exposed in different parts. But let's see. The aggression has begun. TeMo has pulled 5 villagers off of berries all of a sudden. Has he seen the archery range? He has not. So I suspect Hoang, who pretty much is incredibly famous for his Castle Age Siege Workshop shenanigans, figures, you know what? You know what else just costs wood and gold? Archer units. And you know what else just costs wood and a little bit of food? Skirmisher units. So why don't I just start experimenting with some Feudal Age aggression? The fact that he's switching up from his standard quick castle, fast forward siege workshop play just tells you how versatile of a player Hoang is. And we've already got, as TeMo heads up to the Castle Age, the first donjon of the game. Now the sergeants that may or may not come out of this structure, yeah, already one being trained, they're slow, they're weak, but man oh man are they armored. There was a lot of talk about the Roman infantry getting 2x the effect of armor upgrades, but wait till this unit pops out. Okay, looks like he canceled it, and now he's training it again. Getting an armor upgrade for it as well. What is Hoang doing on the other side of the map? Because I believe he has seen, yeah, he's seen the donjon go up. Donjon's such a dangerous structure just because you don't have to send villagers forward. You can use sergeants to build donjons. And so that just, you know, usually if you don't see any of your enemies' villagers near your base, you're kind of safe to assume that, you know, okay, he's not going to really do anything. No tower pushes, no drops, no nothing. But you can never really tell, like the Chuck Berry song, you never can tell with the sergeant, whose base attack is basically the same as the scout. 5 HP's a little bit better, but look, look at that ridiculous base armor for a Feudal Age unit. 2-2. That makes it very good at engaging underneath town centers and, more importantly, towers if they're ever put on for defense. And man, can this unit take a beating. This is like the Teutonic Knight before he goes through a rite of passage ceremony and then becomes a full-fledged Castle Age Teutonic Knight. I mean, how much damage is this sergeant taking from so many units? And he's here. First 4 kills of the game going to TeMo, who's now pulling this scout back into his base. Hoang is chasing. He's chasing because that scout had very little HP, but he's going to lose his scout, maybe? No villagers? Where the hell are the villagers? Okay, he's streaming sergeants across the map. Hoang has a gate and a tower on his primary gold. Okay, he's halfway in terms of resources to going up to castle himself. TeMo's already in castle, and he's got nothing. He's got 4 villagers on food and 15 on gold. So he's just going to keep trying to pump out sergeants. That being said, this is, again, now that we're in castle, look at the stats jump up from a 5 attack to a 3, to an 8. It's an improvement of a 3, which is 60% better attack. You don't have to do anything, by the way. That just happens automatically. Oh, another donjon going up. And more importantly, the armor improves by 50%, going up from 2-2 to 3-3. And now TeMo is buying food. He is attacking from multiple locations. Lame my berries, he says, as he kills the scout with his villagers. I like that idea. I'm just going to do the exact same thing to you. So he's attacking on the east. He's attacking in the west. And let's see how far he can push here. Hoang has 15 more villagers ahead of his opponent. Has 15 more villagers than his opponent. My apologies. But for the next 3 minutes or so, he is going to be stuck going up to Castle Age, which is going to give TeMo an opportunity to catch up. Although, not really Not really interested in catching up, it looks like. Sticking around the 20, 21. So an interesting Donjon push out of him. Now, I should have mentioned the Krepost, for example, for the Bulgarians is a very expensive structure in terms of stone. It costs 350 stone. The Donjon's a little cheaper. It does cost 175 stone, but also 50 wood, which I believe was reduced recently. Oh no, oh no. Now Hoang is losing villagers, but the wall off is complete behind this. So primary line of defense has been breached. Secondary is under attack. The market, the mill, the houses, a third is up with these stone walls on the left side of the map. TeMo is going after the blacksmith instead of the palisade right next to it as Hoang tries to repair it desperately. One villager seems to be enough to do the job, at least for now. More and more sergeants. It's literally 14 army count to 0. Hoang is waiting desperately for another 20 seconds. I'm assuming the second he hits Castle Age, a siege workshop will go up, but will TeMo give him the time? This must be a dozen. Yeah, a dozen sergeants are attacking this house. Hoang knows he can't really hold it. How many villagers are being pulled here? 7 out of 33. There goes basically his entire economic villager lead in repairing this house. But wait a second, he's abandoned it. They busted in through the palisade. Now they're chasing the villager. Hoang is getting speared from the left, from the right, spit roasted like a Celtic sheep. And now villagers are taking on this unit. You should not be taking on this unit with villagers. Look at how little damage they actually do to a unit that has 4 armor right now. Romans be damned, says our Sicilian. But eventually, underneath a TC, you will lose this very slow-moving unit who has busted in yet again. Another donjon. TeMo's economy is all gold, all wood. Where are the stone miners to the back? Okay, he's got 4 villagers on stone. Absolutely no villagers on food at the moment. Now the sergeant is still, because it's an infantry unit, generally infantry units cost roughly the same, around 60 food. I believe sergeant does cost exactly 60 food, 35 gold. So a little bit more expensive than your average infantry units from the barracks. Looks like Hoang has walled himself in here against these not really synchronized attacking sergeants. Now we're going to chase the mangonel. Ooh, they take 1 volley. To the north, they're going through the siege workshop with a donjon to the center. I mean, what an absolute crazy push so far out of our Sicilian. He loses 1 sergeant. He's going to lose a 2nd sergeant. Villagers are literally body blocking between the sergeant and the mangonel. He gets a whack at it. I believe there should be still 1 sergeant down here. Okay, this guy you can fight with a villager because he just has 1 HP. I'll allow it. I'll let you fight that one. Not too sure you need to bring the mangonel all the way down just for this one guy. Another. By the way, Hoang has carved himself up a little tiny enclave, Mr. Yo style, a little bean-shaped enclave. He does get that 1 HP. It was with the villager, in fact, not the mangonel. The mangonel was used to absolutely gun down the sergeant constructing the donjon there. This little bean-shaped base of his, and it looks very compartmentalized. 2 layers of defense down to the east, a layer of defense down to the north. The tower and the gate have both been crushed. Not too sure what happened to the red villager on this side of the map, but right now the donjon has been enough to secure the base for TeMo, who continues on the aggressive. He still has 13 sergeants. They're kind of splitting up. Not too sure what the point of all this split up. Are they looking for villagers? Maybe he's looking for villagers. Oh, he wanted to build a donjon, but the 7 range of the mangonel denied it. So now he has to build it a little bit further away. The donjon does outrange the mangonel. But the last thing you want to do if you've got basically this glorified bastard child of a tower and a barracks is start engaging against mangonels. Oh no. A couple of villagers get caught out. Upgrades are now at 0+2, so the armor on this unit is even harder for Hoang to deal with. First it was 2, Then it was 2+1. Then it was 3+1. Now it's 3+2. I feel like the count from Sesame Street. 2+1. Anyway, enough of my atrocious impressions. Donjon will fall. Does have a bit more HP than your average run-of-the-mill tower. Hoang is very confident he's going to go back to Jack and Lumber over here because this forest has been denied him, and again for the umpteenth time. What is that, number 2? No, definitely not number 2. There was an incursion here, an incursion here, an incursion here, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 that the Sicilian is in, but Hoang is literally being saved by amazing attack rounds and the ridiculously slow movement of this unit, which, to be fair, once it does catch up to the Mangonel, maybe not when there's one sergeant, but definitely when there's... Okay, not too sure why Hoang left the safety of the town center. That was a bit of a mistake, as the sergeant kills the mango right before the mangoes kill the sergeant. And let's see what the hell is going on. This... Okay, Donjon has been left unattended for a while. Hoang's down to 2 Mangonels. TeMo slowly is catching up in villager count. I mean, he was at 21, now he's going up to 24. Both players at ridiculously low populations for 28 minutes into the game. Another Donjon. He needs to get some kind of attack and range upgrades on these Donjons. Get some fletching. Otherwise, what the heck is the point? With fletching, he's going to deny this wood line. And if he denies this wood line and this wood line, Hoang has no wood. And a woodless Hoang is like a rudderless ship. There is no more wood for siege. There is no more wood for farms, for houses, for anything. As much as food is the lifeblood of this game, you can basically don't get any food without any wood. At least once your livestock population has been culled and eaten. Sergeants have busted in again! But they're busy attacking a house. Not too sure they need to be doing that. There it is, fletching! Hoang is going to be in so much trouble right now. He's getting a monastery. He's going to get monks to try to convert some of these Sicilian units. Remember, they can be upgraded to become more resistant to conversion, but I believe you got to call a crusade for that. Get some of that fervor into them. Fervor to be used in that sentence as the general word, not the unique technology, not as the monastery technology fervor. Okay, a couple of shots there do miss in a grand fashion, but again, TeMo's just moving his units around the TC. To be fair, this would be a perfect time for him to try to snipe a TC. Looks like the Mangonels are stuck up here behind a whole bunch of blockading buildings. There is nothing here but villagers inside. Hoang has 20 villagers that are actually working. TeMo has 25. Our Sicilian has a better economy at the moment. What the hell is going on in this game? Wololo attempted. Let's see if it succeeds. Decent Mangonel shots. TeMo's just taking a bunch of rocks to the face right now. Donjon's up. Do you go after the monk? Do you go after the siege unit? Definitely go after the monk. Especially since there's only one out and the other, no second monk to heal. Yeah, okay, he deletes his own building to run into the safety of the TC area. Those sergeants have repositioned to the northeast. I feel like a mix of a football announcer, or a soccer announcer as we call them here, and an auctioneer announcing this game. I feel like an English-speaking locuser, the way I'm trying to capture all the aggression here on the map. But right as I say that, TeMo turns around and builds a very safe, very secure little donjon for himself. Fletching, by the way, also allows his donjon at home to start picking away at this archery range. Not that there's anything really going to come out of that archery range. Donjon to the south. I mean, he's gotten Hoang off wood. How is Hoang still alive? Oh, he's alive because he's managed to convert. He's managed to convert 3 sergeants. And now the monks, as slow as the donjon, the sergeant moves, the monks are a little bit slower than that. Oh my goodness, what an epic game out of the players. I don't know if Hoang's going to continue to hold here. Definitely starting to look like he's a little bit safe, but again, his economy, a third of it, 14, 15 villagers out of 35 are just hanging out, idled, not doing much. And now he's moving forward. 1 villager's here. Remember, sergeants can also repair donjons, but the second they pop out, you know the mangonel's gonna go and attack them right away. TeMo's getting okay, he's getting double bit axe at the moment, so he has put the brakes on the military aggression for now. Sanctity for the Celtic monks. Let's see how well they do here. One conversion, one death, and all of a sudden our Celt has more sergeants than our Sicilian. What the hell is going on? And now Hoang is pushing out with an army that is against the slow. I mean, look, first of all, look how ridiculously slow this army moves. Let's actually follow along, because it looks like they're on a parade almost, right? I feel like I want to play some like EDM techno music in the back of my head, some Sash or Darude as this army moves out. But this isn't it doesn't look very big, but this is a massive army in terms of its power, especially against the sergeants, who again move so slow because they're so heavily armored. And Hoang just says, hey, I'm gonna just leave your donjons up there. I got rid of the most annoying one, which means I can go back to taking lumber. And what the hell was that hold? I mean, the game's not over, but what an epic hold. Blue doesn't see red. Red definitely sees blue with the monks. So he knows there's a little bit of a army heading his way. He is training 2 more monks back at home, which should be enough, honestly, to take care of those sergeants. Okay, who somehow know that there's no army here anymore, so they're now heading back home. And our Sicilians is in a bit of trouble. He's training light cavalry right now out of 2 stables. Archery range is still up, so you never really know when or if anything will pop out of there. Back to 2 villagers in the forward position. Light cavalry, 1, 2. Oh, he gets the monk. Ouch. Even with Sanctity, he got the monk. That's interesting. I thought for sure he would have either been converted or deleted, and that's all she wrote. I mean, greatest hold of all time that I've seen. I mean, this channel's not that old. Less than 2 years old, but holy moly. What an absolute epic hold. First, he was breached on the left. Then he was breached in the south. Then, actually, no. Then he was breached here. 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 Everywhere. Woodline denied. Woodline denied. And Hoang just pivoting like a slippery Celtic eel that our Sicilian fishermen just really couldn't catch, until he finally got enough wood to train his mangonels, secured enough gold to get some monks, converted an army of his own, built an army of his own, and just jutted out into the middle of the map, stole units, and ends the game with 8 sergeants to 0. Our Celt has 8 sergeants. And oh my goodness, wait a second. Do they benefit from the Celtic infantry? Do they benefit from the Celtic infantry moving 15% faster? Where's this blue sergeant? They should still be at the 0.9, right? Oh my goodness, I didn't even think of that. But remember, starting in the Feudal Age, Celtic infantry do move 15% faster than normal. His sergeants are actually not bad. Not bad at all. Wow. But forget the conversions, forget the mangonel, forget the light cap, forget all of this nonsense on this side of the map. It's really what happened here at the Battle of Hoang's Bean, let's call it. This bean-shaped base. Well, what do we want to call this? Yeah, the Siege of Hoang's Bean, and let's call it that. What an absolute epic hold. And this game, I mean, if you can, share this game everywhere. This is going to go down in history as one of the great battles. Move aside Cannae, move aside Austerlitz, move aside Kursk, move aside Waterloo, move aside all these other major battles everywhere. This is going to go down in history as one of the greatest holds, I think, in recent Age of Empires history. Of course, I can't talk about the last 25 years. I'm sure there's been a lot of amazing holds. But for me, for the last 2 years that I've been doing this channel, under 2 years, this may be one of the, if not the greatest holds. And I'm glad that it was Hoang. I'm glad that he was doing it with the Celts. And I'm glad that at the end of the day, that movement speed bonus applies to the sergeant, because now you've got a unit with 5/5 armor that moves pretty damn quick. And I think TeMo just realized, hey, everything I send against you is now being turned against me. even a random cav archer, because why the hell not? That seems to be the meta these days. Doesn't matter what civilization you are. You have to go cav archer. Seems to be the du jour unit of choice. 35 sergeants to 8. 6 mangonels, light cavalry, basically after that first scout not playing a role. So TeMo going real you-pudding on us today and just doing a pure Sicilian push. 6 monks, 6 mangonels are what it took. Although, to be fair, it's not really even the monks. So let's say it was probably 1 or 2 monks and 2 or 3 mangonels, maybe 4, because I think he did lose 1, that held the line against all of these units. PKPM beginning. Wow. What an epic gold. Resources basically, literally, almost exactly identical. Trash to our Celt, no surprise there. Scarce resources to our Sicilian, no surprise there. His base completely unattacked after that first skirmisher attacked and died. 8 conversions, 13 raisings to 5. So TeMo did destroy a lot more. And, by the way, got 13 villager kills. So at the end of the day, even though our Sicilian economy wasn't that great for the majority of the game, he was at like 20, 21. He does end the game on 35 villagers. I wonder if that's kind of a dampening factor on his military push, is the fact that he started going more and more villagers, realizing that his push here basically was over. And wow. I mean, I don't know what else to say, except I hope people watch this video. I hope they share this video. Not even just to promote me or the casting or the channel, just because this was an amazing game. If you want the recording, come to Discord. I'll send it to you. I don't even care if you want to share the cast, as long as you share this game, because the battle, the siege of Hoang's Bean, I think is going to go down as one of the greatest holds here. Wow. I don't know what else to say except wow. What a fantastic push. Multi-layered, multi-pronged, multi-directional out of our Sicilian, but more importantly, what an amazing hold by Hoang. His bean is intact, his economy is roaring, and his army's on the other side of the map, causing absolute mayhem and basically stealing whatever unit is silly enough to try to engage into it. And with that thievery, not of sheep, but of units, and with that hold, that amazing hold, it is in fact Hoang who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.